Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to us by one of our dear sister, and the message, it reads like this. Good afternoon, Brother Nashim, and to all of your listeners on African Confessions. Please keep me as anonymous. I am speaking to you from a place of great shame. People, you might see me driving a G-Wagon and you think that this woman, Yom, she has made it in life. It is not everyone that you see driving a very beautiful car that has made it in life. There are those that are suffering. I have a problem with depression. I can say that maybe I am mentally ill a bit because of the things that I see. I think that there is a veil that is between us and the spiritual realm, which is never supposed to be tampered with. And once you tamper with it, then your life, it becomes sort of like a playground for all kinds of demons. And this is what I go through almost on a daily basis. I see people that died a very long time ago in my house. They just come to my house uninvited because they are spirits that are always walking around. Even if you do not see those spirits, they will always be walking around. So I will just change the years so that people won't know that it is I that has given you this confession. It was in the year 2022. I was a student in Joburg and I was tired really of being a dark girl in my friend group because all the girls that I was friends with, they were all light-skinned and I was the only one that was like a darkie in that group. I really felt invisible, and whenever we would have gone out for a groove, those girls, they were always snatching men from me, and I had to return back home with a man that I really did not like. I started grooving when I was still even in grade 9. I already went to taverns. I grew up in Zanin, by the way, so this was not the first time for me to go out grooving, getting drunk and returning back home with some guys. And then I started searching online. One thing led to another, and then I was on Alibaba. I was searching on Alibaba for skin lightening products, and then I found a supplier after I had spoken with several suppliers. And oh wow, I then started to communicate with a woman that was South African. She was a South African woman that was living in China, and then we started talking. Since she was South African, I felt more comfortable to speak with him, and I told her that I wanted something that was going to make my skin to be light, and I wanted to be light-skinned, but as quickly as possible. She then told me about this other skin lightening cream that I'll just mention as Pearl White. This cream, she said that it is used even by the most beautiful celebrities, and if I could order that one, then I was going to become light-skinned within a very short period of time. So I ordered a small batch. I was spending like my last NSFAS allowance. When it arrived, it smelled so nice, like expensive roses. I tested it on myself, Brother Nashim. It was so amazing. It was like a miracle. Within just 3 days, my skin had been transformed and I was glowing, like I was really glowing like a celebrity. And I started selling the cream to other girls that were staying at the res where I was staying. I did not tell them that I was sourcing these products from China through Alibaba. I lied to them that this was like made here in South Africa, and one thing led to another. I started to sell this to other slay queens, even from Hillbrow, and I still told them that it was organic and it did not even have any dangerous chemicals like your mercury inside, but deep down I knew that it was a lie. I even made a research online and I knew that mercury is the one that can bleach your skin, and there is no organic product that can work wonders like what this thing was doing. In 72 hours, you could start to see that your skin is glowing And women, they love that kind of skin products that can make you and give you a glow within a very short period of time. So I was busy selling even 1,500 Rand a tub of my skin lightening cream. In my first week, you won't even believe this if I told you I made 20,000 cash. I was selling for cash, no credit. I felt like I had found a gold mine. I moved out of my student res and I moved into a luxury apartment. This was in Braamfontein, and I started buying expensive clothes and I started living a very beautiful high life. Even bought myself my own car. And then when I was using these beauty products, like I started to experience this strange fire in my blood of wanting to have sex all the times. If I would sleep with a man, maybe 2-3 rounds, after that man would have left my house, or if I would have left his house. I used to meet this man on Tinder. Then I would start to feel like I need to be with another man. It's like I just wanted to sleep with a man each and every hour. I even started using some toys that I bought from Loveland, and those toys still, they could not satisfy me. And I saw that I was very aggressive and I was very stubborn, even at school. And I felt that I had this seductive power that was growing inside of me that I could not even control. One Sunday morning, I went to church at 8 a.m. This was what I used to do even before all of these things. I went to church at 8 a.m. to help clean before the 9 a.m. service. I expected to see the guys for the praise and worship already there putting up their instruments, but then I saw that the pastor, he was the only one that had arrived at church. He was there alone. I don't know what came over me. He was praying in front, but the Jezebel spirit took control of me. I then started to seduce that man of God right there in the church of God. Afterward, the pastor walked towards me and he started touching me all over, and then we moved into the office and then we started sleeping with each other. The moment that he was finished, he looked at me and he was like, Lerato, when I looked at you, I did not see a woman, but I saw a very beautiful mermaid, so seductive that I could not resist you. I just laughed at him and I said, Omaka, you just wanted to sleep with me. And then I walked out. I did not care about God anymore. I was not even scared. I went to the bathroom and I bathed myself, and then I returned back into church as if nothing had even happened. I only cared about my glow. I did not realize that the cream that I had been using was the one that had opened up this veil that no human is supposed to open up. And now my soul, it was a playing ground for the marine spirit, and these marine spirits, you can never control them. I found it on my own that these marine spirits, they are always hungry for you to sleep with a man because they want the semen from the man that you will be sleeping with. So this money was coming to me. I was making money. Some weeks I would make 10k, then there were weeks when I would make 20k. Usually when it was towards holidays as well as month end, I would drive to Hillbrow, and I had my contacts there in Hillbrow. I had a lady that I would pay if she would find customers for me, but I never wanted anything on credit. I always wanted cash. Then I would go my separate way and she would go her own separate way. Then this lady, that was the one that was working for me from Hillbrow. She was one of my loyal customers, and she also got commission from me. Her real name, she was Ndaviseng. She was beautiful, but she was also obsessed with becoming white, and she would always buy a lot. She bought 5 tubs of the pearl white cream at once. A few weeks later, she called me at around 2 a.m. She was screaming so loud, I had to hold the phone away from my ear. It was like she was possessed by a demon. She was, Lerato, what have you done to me? I see a mermaid everywhere. The way that she was screaming at me, It was so terrifying and it was really scary. And she kept on telling me that I was the one that had brought all of these problems into her life. I asked him, and she was even barking like a dog over the phone. She was like, Lerato, I see this woman everywhere. And I said, what woman are you talking about? She said that she was seeing a woman with the tail of a fish in her bathtub and even in her sink. Everywhere there is water. She said, I see her too in my dreams. I told her that maybe she was just stressed, but then she sent me a photo, and when she took this photo of her hand, I saw that even the green veins, I could see them. So I rushed to see her in Hillbrow. I was shocked to see that my best friend, who was also the one that had been helping me to get a lot of customers around Hillbrow, Ndavisen's skin had become so thin. It was like you could actually see her heartbeat beating through her chest, with the way that her skin was so transparent. You could even see her veins. It was so scary. The thing that I saw, it was like she was a vampire. And a few days later, I had the news. Ndaviseng went to Durban and she had her baby daddy. She went to Durban, and when she went there, then she committed suicide in the room of her baby daddy, yet they had not been with each other for a couple of years. She did not leave anything, no reason, just a beautiful girl like Ndaviseng. She just committed suicide and got that man in trouble for nothing. I was shaken when I heard the news of her passing away, but the greed that I had, it was already too strong, and for me to stop with the money that I was making, I could not stop at all. That was when I went to the bathroom one day to wash my face for the first time. That was when I saw the real demon, the real devil that I saw on that day. Really shocked me to the core. My physical body, it changed. I did not see Lerato. When I was looking into the mirror, I saw a black mermaid. This mermaid, she was so dark, she was so black, I don't know how to explain it. And this mermaid, she was not even beautiful. She was like a vampire. She had the teeth like that of a vampire, and she was standing in front of me. She was not seductive like the pastor had said, that I saw a very seductive, beautiful mermaid that was standing in front of you, and I could not resist such a beautiful woman. I saw the true demon in its true form. She was a monster. She smiled at me. I heard her voice in my head, and she said, Ndaviseng was just the first. We are hungry. And when she said we are hungry, it was like she spoke with the voices of 1,000 demonic women. It was so scary. I ran out of that bathroom and I went outside. I only had a bathing towel wrapped around myself. Instead of stopping, like I told you, when you are demon possessed, you will do like whatever. And I got more aggressive. I started sleeping with married men, politicians. I slept with several politicians from ANC, and I also slept with men that had so many businesses. And like I told you, I would always feel like I want to sleep with a man each and every single hour. I had dildos that I bought of different sizes. Even those vibrators, they could do nothing for me. I would go out and sleep with a man, return back to my apartment, and then I'll start to do it on myself using toys for hours and hours, just watching some adult content. I felt like there was a fire that was inside of my private parts that only stopped when I was being intimate with a man. When a man was sleeping with me, I would feel that the man, he would be like rubbing that part that made me to feel so hot at all the times, 24 hours every day. And once he pulls out, some men, they would even complain, because after pulling out, I want you back inside of me. Like I was no longer a student, to be honest. I was like a predator, always chasing after men, even though men, they thought that they were too lucky to sleep with a beautiful woman like me. I realized that everyone who had been using my cream was also becoming part of the marine kingdom. Their beauty, it was turning them into these sex monsters. Davi saying she did not just die. I had a dream where her soul was being harvested, where her blood was being put into clay pots, and I was the one that had made it to happen. I started to see shadows of people that died a very long time ago, people that I don't even know, walking around in my apartment. I would always see that in my room there would be a mermaid that would be crawling on the floor. It was so scary, especially when I would be fast asleep. I don't know how to properly explain it to you. I knew that I was in deep, but I did not know that the woman that had sold this cream to me, she wanted me and she was waiting for me to join her inner circle. One evening, I then received a message from my Alibaba supplier. She told me that she was not in China anymore. She told me to meet her at a warehouse, and I asked her where this warehouse was, and then she sent me a location, and it was in City Deep in Joburg. When I arrived, I saw that she was there. She had a couple of women somewhere from Nigeria, but only women. I never saw a man at that warehouse, and I saw boxes and boxes of pearl white. But then I saw that there was a shrine. This shrine, it had red candles and bowls, and I thought that I saw a little human that was eating fat. Later on, she told me that it was the fat that had been taken from a human. It was so scary. She was there, and then she told me that she knew what I was going through, and the mermaids had spoken with her. And I said, oh, so you know also about the mermaids? And she said, yes. She said, Lerato, you are one of our best sellers. You are not just selling this cream, but you are also helping the mermaids to get a great harvest. And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean when you say that I'm not just selling this cream, but I am helping the mermaids to harvest? She said, oh, I forgot to tell you, whenever you sell this to the right person, if the mermaids want that person, they can harvest the blood of that customer of yours. That is why they all end up with uterus problems and infertility. And this cream, it is the one that will be like a mark, so that the mermaids can know that this one is the one that we can harvest her blood and we can make her womb to become barren. I was so scared, but I was already in this thing. She told me that you cannot walk away from this now, Lerato. I was then invited to join their money ritual sisterhood. They told me that in order for me to join this sisterhood, I was supposed to give them a sacrifice to take me to the next level of wealth. I was so blinded when I thought about all the women that were in this sisterhood. And I was taken to this house in Randfontein where this other woman was staying. She had a beautiful G-Wagon that she had recently bought, and I wanted something like that. So I was blinded by one day owning a G-Wagon, maybe living in Santon, but then they asked for a sacrifice. I did not hesitate because already I wanted this. I agreed to sacrifice my own mother, who was back in Zanin. I felt no love at all. I just wanted to feed these marine spirits so that they can be able to give me what I wanted. So this ritual, it came with a price, and it is a humiliating thing, really. That is what the devil will do to you. So the humiliation, the price came with a demon being put inside of my body. I am possessed as I'm speaking with you by a demon. So this demon, it started making me, or rather forcing me, to do things that made no sense. I would be casually walking around in Joburg with an HIV home test kit so that I can test any Nyaupe boy that I see. If I want to sleep with him, approach him and tell him that I can give 1,000 rands if he can just give me one round. For this demon, that is what it wants from me. The first time when I did it, it was so terrible and horrible because the guy that I slept with, he was a Nyaupe boy. and he was so dirty. I had to take him to my place, and I was forbidden from cleaning him up. I just had to test him and saw that he was HIV negative, and I had to sleep with him. And this was like me playing Russian roulette, because I did not know if he had an STI or not. But I just told myself that if it is an STI, then I can live with it, and STI can be cured, for I have money. I have money, my brother, in my bank account. I have money underneath my bed. I have money everywhere. But at night, this is what I have to do. Sometimes I can go during the day. So I rented out this other property close to the place where I go and sell my body. The ladies there, they don't even know that they are also working with a millionaire, because when I go, I usually go to Anderson Street here in Joburg in CBD. So I park my car. Even if I go out with my G-Wagon, I don't go close to Anderson Street with my G-Wagon. I park it somewhere else, and then I can take a Bolt, and then it drops me off. Then I just hustle with other street side prostitutes, and I would have parked my 2 million G-Wagon somewhere around the corner, hide my designer bags, and stand on the street corner in the dark. When I do this, when I go to sell my body, I don't go there for the money. I can sell my body for 50 rand to any man who will be passing by, homeless man, addict, anyone. I sell for them, but I make sure that we condomize. So this spirit, it does not want the 50 rand. That is why when I go there, any man that I sleep with has to use a protection. So there is something that I use with the condom form. So after sleeping with a man, I have to take his semen, those sperms. After the deed is done, I can just pretend to take the condom and wrap it in a tissue, and then pretend as if I am throwing it away. But secretly, I hide it in my pocket or in my handbag. And then I go back to my car, drive back to my luxury house. I stay in the estate. The next morning, when I wake up, when I'm doing my early morning clean up my face routine before bathing, this is what I have to do. I go to the kitchen, then I just warm up the milk, and after warming up the fresh milk, then I mix that milk with semen and a little bit of water and coriander. Then I will go to the bathroom with that semen that I would have taken from the condoms that I would have gotten the previous night, and go to the bathroom to wash my face. This is the secret that I have to do. If I do this, then I would have satisfied the marine spirits. The men that I sleep with there at Anderson Street, they don't know all of these things. They don't know. They just think that maybe I'm someone that is just cheap, who sell my body, who negotiates with customers. And I can even remove myself from the girls that I will be standing with, and this, they won't even know. If a guy comes and asks how much we will be selling for that night, if we tell him the price, if he complains, then I can follow him and I'll say, come on, let us negotiate. And I'll say, how much do you have? Usually they'll say, I have 100, less than 100, and I'll say, okay, it's fine, let us go. Then we can just find a spot, then we can sleep with each other. And this is how I satisfy the Jezebel spirit, for it is my master and I am its own slave, and I have to constantly sleep with men. By 2024, the darkness was too much. I had sacrificed my mom, and the sacrifice also had to be done on my sister. You know why this sacrifice had to be done on my sister? Because I wanted out. In desperation, I once went to a powerful prophet in Venda. I thought that he could cleanse me. During the prayer, when he was praying for me, I fell to the floor. Then I started vomiting thick black things like liquid. It looked like printer ink, and it smelled so bad. And I felt a mermaid spirit that was screaming inside of me, saying, Lerato, you are going to pay. You are going to pay. That prophet fails to save me because I belong to the marine kingdom. Then when I returned back to Joburg, within a couple of days, my sister, who was in Guyana, she was a healthy girl. One morning, they found her dead in her room. No explanation, no sickness. She just died. And then I have another best friend of mine. She also passed away. I lost everyone, and I kept on losing all those that I loved. So I have since stopped this business. I even deleted my Alibaba account, and those women, they told me that even though I do not sell these products anymore, but I am still part of the sisterhood, and I still have money, and I have to go and sell my body. And to the men that I usually love, I have to spend money on them because I am forbidden for providing for my own family. So I just live alone in luxury, and I'm still rich, still belong to a sisterhood, but I am empty. To numb the pain, I have been spending my money on your Ben 10s. Usually these are 20-year-old colored guys from the south of Joburg. I buy them clothes, I buy them whatever that they want. In return, they stay with me because I'm scared of staying alone. I am a woman, brother, but I am dating children, like real young boys, even though I am 30 something and I am dating these young guys. It makes me to feel so bad. I even had to buy this other guy a PS5 in order for him just to stay with me for a couple of months, even though I knew that he had another woman that he really loves. And this is my own story. I just want to warn other girls, if you are watching those get rich quick TikTok things, or if you are looking for cheap bleaching creams, just know that you can buy things that can get you in trouble. If you want to be light-skinned, maybe if you go to a dermatologist, maybe they can recommend something that is better. This thing from the street, you need to be careful. You can end up joining like a blood sisterhood where we had to sacrifice those that we loved the most. This is my confession. Please just take heed of my confession. It is also a warning. There is a lot of Satanism in the skin lightening business. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with our sister there in the comment section. Can you imagine? Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us meet again in the following episode.